She never truly believed he would go that far. In her mind, there were lines that simply couldn't be crossed, boundaries built on years of loyalty, sacrifice, and a love story that had survived more than most. But the moment he did cross that line, everything changed. The tears came suddenly, uncontrollably, and they didn't stop. What followed was a twist so unexpected that even the most seasoned gossip watchers didn't see it coming. Remy Ma, once the picture of strength and pride, now reportedly on her knees, publicly and privately pleading for Papoose to come back after his shocking, intimate connection with Claressa Shields. To understand how things spiraled to this point, you have to rewind. This wasn't just any couple. Remy Ma and Papoose were seen as hip-hop royalty, a symbol of loyalty, endurance, and real love. This was the same Remy who once proudly called Papoose her king. The same woman who praised him for standing by her through her darkest days. Their bond seemed unbreakable, almost legendary. But behind the scenes, cracks had already begun to form. Rumors started quietly at first. Whispers of Remy Ma being seen with battle rapper Easy the Block Captain began circulating. At first, fans brushed it off as industry chatter. Collaborations, friendships, nothing serious. But then came the sightings. Low-key dinners, backstage interactions, and eventually, a blurry clip that spread like wildfire across social media. It allegedly showed Remy entering a hotel suite linked to Easy. She denied everything, laughing it off, dismissing critics, and framing it as baseless gossip. Still, something shifted. Papoose, known for his calm and composed demeanor, didn't respond publicly. He didn't argue, didn't defend, didn't react. And that silence spoke volumes. Because when someone like him goes quiet, it's rarely because everything is fine. It's often because something deeper is unfolding beneath the surface. Then came Claressa Shields. At first, her connection with Papoose seemed harmless. They appeared together in promotional content tied to boxing and hip-hop collaborations. Their interactions were light, friendly, even professional. But slowly, the tone began to change. Photos started surfacing, more frequent, more personal. Their chemistry became harder to ignore. Fans noticed the way they stood close, the way they looked at each other, the subtle body language that suggested something deeper. Then came the moment that changed everything. A single image from the BET Awards red carpet. Papoose stood confidently in a sleek black outfit, and beside him was Claressa Shields, undeniably radiant, poised, and powerful. At first glance, it seemed like a standard celebrity photo. But for those paying attention, the details told a different story. His hand rested low on her back, not quite casual, not entirely professional. She leaned in, not like a colleague, but like someone who already knew her place beside him. That image spread fast. And with it came realization. Remy Ma wasn't there. She wasn't on the red carpet, not in the audience, not backstage. Wherever she was, she likely saw the same image the rest of the world did. And in that moment, the truth hit her. Papoose had moved on. What made it even more painful was the timing. Because deep down, she may have sensed it coming. But knowing something might happen is very different from watching it unfold in front of millions. As more details surfaced, the situation became impossible to ignore. Sources claimed that Papoose and Claressa had grown close over months, spending time together away from the spotlight. Trips, private meetings, and moments that weren't meant to be seen began leaking into public view. And then came the biggest revelation. This wasn't just emotional. It had become something real, something physical, something undeniable. For Remy Ma, it was a devastating blow. Reports began circulating that she tried to reach him repeatedly. Calls, messages, voicemails filled with emotion. Some claimed she even attempted to confront him in person, desperate for answers, desperate for a chance to fix what had been broken. But the response she received was silence. And sometimes, silence says everything. Things escalated further when Remy reportedly went live on a secondary Instagram account. The clips that surfaced painted a picture of someone unraveling, pacing, emotional, struggling to process what had happened. She admitted mistakes, hinted at regret, and questioned how everything had fallen apart so completely. For fans, it was shocking. This was the same strong, unshakable Remy Ma. Now, she appeared vulnerable in a way people had never seen before. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields wasn't entirely silent. A single statement, short but powerful, ignited even more conversation. "I didn't take him. He wasn't being held anymore." 8 words that carried layers of meaning. To some, it was a defense. To others, a declaration. The internet exploded. Fans took sides almost instantly. Some supported Remy, arguing that everyone makes mistakes and that their history deserved another chance. Others sided with Papoose, saying he had every right to move on after feeling disrespected. And then there were those who saw Claressa not as a villain, but as someone who simply stepped into a situation that was already broken. As if things weren't intense enough, more footage began to circulate. Clips allegedly showed Papoose and Claressa together behind the scenes at events, laughing, talking, disappearing into private spaces. Nothing explicitly confirmed, but enough to fuel speculation. At this point, the narrative had shifted completely. This wasn't just gossip anymore. It was a full-blown public unraveling of a relationship people once believed was untouchable. Behind the scenes, things reportedly grew even more complicated. There were whispers of shared business ventures, joint investments, and legal ties that now had to be untangled. Ending a relationship is one thing. Ending an empire is something else entirely. And still, the emotional fallout continued. Remy Ma's social media became more cryptic. Posts filled with vague messages about lessons, betrayal, and growth began appearing. Some interpreted them as reflections. Others saw them as indirect responses to everything happening around her. At the same time, Papoose seemed to be embracing his new chapter. Appearances with Claressa Shields became more frequent, more public, more confident. The contrast was stark and impossible to ignore. For many watching, the situation raised bigger questions. Was this inevitable? Did Remy's alleged involvement with Easy the Block captain push things past the point of no return? Or did Papoose move on too quickly, turning to Claressa as both comfort and statement? There's no simple answer. What's clear is that this wasn't just a breakup. It was the collapse of something people believed in. A relationship that once symbolized loyalty now serving as a reminder of how fragile even the strongest bonds can be. And yet, the story isn't over. There are rumors that Remy Ma is working on a deeply personal project. Possibly a documentary or music that tells her side of the story. A chance to reclaim her narrative, to explain, to reflect, and maybe even to rebuild. Because if there's one thing history has shown, it's that comebacks are always possible. The real question is what happens next. Will Papoose ever look back? Is Claressa Shields here to stay, or is this just another chapter? And can Remy Ma rise from this moment stronger than before?